Once the Pittsburgh Steelers started getting healthy from injuries, bad news strikes again, as now the Steelers have some major injuries that are going to affect the rest of the season. So, the Steelers, they have some unfortunate news 1 week ago when they lost Cole Holcomb, linebacker, in the Tennessee Titans game to a knee injury, and now they lose their other inside linebacker as well. Kwon Alexander is expected to miss the rest of the year with a torn Achilles, and that is reported by NFL insider and reporter Adam Schefter. So, as of right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be missing a few playmakers on the defense, 3 of them, and difference makers for this team. They're missing right now Macus, who got a hamstring injury in the Tennessee Titans game, missed this week as well against the Packers, and is probably going to be out multiple more weeks. And then Cole Holcomb, he got injured in the Titans game as well when Keanu Neal ran into him, and he's out for a season with a knee injury. Then Kwon Alexander, he got injured as well, but this week instead of last week. He got injured in the Green Bay Packers game in the first quarter with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left with an Achilles injury. He's dealt with multiple injuries in his career, and this is just bad news. And now the Steelers are going to have to turn to other players to step up. We always hear it's a next man up mentality, and now the Steelers are going to be put to test. They're going to be put to test with linebackers who don't really see much playing time in coverage downs. As of right now, they only have basically Landon Roberts and Mark Robinson on their team at the inside linebacker position. But what do both of those guys do? Both of those guys are run stoppers. So we're going to have to see how they do in the pass coverage and who else is going to have to step up and step into a role. We've seen some players get elevated from the practice squad, but multiple players are going to have to step up into that role. We went from Cole Holcomb with the green dot on his helmet, and then we went to Kwon Alexander with that green dot on his helmet, and now we're going to see how Landon Roberts does, because now he will have the green dot on his helmet as well, and kind of be calling the plays and getting the Steelers defense set in their formations. And this is bad news for Kwon Alexander, because this isn't the first time that he torn his Achilles. Back in 2020 with the New Orleans Saints, he also torn his Achilles. So now he's going to have to rehab from this injury once again and go through that whole process of missing a year, working his butt off to get back into the NFL, and hopefully be able to be a playmaker once again once he recovers from this injury. But I know it's just bad for him because he's dealt with this injury before, and you never want to deal with it one time, and now having to deal with it a second time, it's just probably heartbreaking for him, finally getting back on the field, finally being able to play, show off his capabilities, show that he could still be a difference maker in this league. He had an interception a week ago, showing that he could be a playmaker for a defense and be the guy, an inside linebacker, and now he gets injured when he's given his chance for 2 consecutive years. With the Jets, he was given his chance. With the Steelers, he was given his chance. But now he's injured. So I know it's probably heartbreaking for him having to deal with this injury right when he was playing good and had a role on this team. But once again, it's going to be interesting to see what the Steelers do at that inside linebacker position now that he went down, Cole Holcomb went down, and they're getting really thin at that position. Inside linebacker, just a few weeks ago, that was a key difference maker for their team. They had so much depth at that position, but now that depth, it took a hit, and the Steelers are going to have to look elsewhere to either sign players from the outside or maybe keep elevating Tariq Carpenter from the practice squad or officially sign him to the main roster. But the Steelers are going to have a decision to make if they feel as though Tariq Carpenter is going to be a right fit for the team, or are they going to have to go look elsewhere in free agency, maybe look at Anthony Barr, free agent, or someone else at the linebacker position, or look at someone else's practice squad, like the Cowboys player, and sign them off the practice squad and have them join the Steelers to play a role on this team at the inside linebacker position. It's going to be interesting to see how the Steelers fill Cole Holcomb and now Kwon Alexander's fit on this team with someone else. But it's not just going to be one person that's going to have to step up and fill the role. Everyone's going to have to step up, play collectively. The safeties are going to have to help the linebackers. The defensive linemen are going to have to help the linebackers. Maybe not leave the open runs getting to the linebackers. Everyone's going to have to step up to fill up for those injuries and help this team win games. So that's the issue and the injuries dealing with inside linebackers. But also, if you see on this thumbnail of the video, the picture when you clicked on the video, you saw safety Keanu Neal, who was inserted in the lineup in place of Macus when he left that game with a hamstring injury. And head coach Mike Tomlin described that Neal's injury is a rib issue, but he did not elaborate further. You saw Keanu Neal, he got the interception in the back of the end zone to basically end the game, and then he went down with the injury when he was running it out of the end zone. So he dealt with that injury, and he suggested that he's going to be okay moving forward from the injury, and it's not big of a deal. But Mike Tomlin just did not elaborate on it. Here's what Keanu Neal had to say. "Yeah, I'm okay," he said. "When I got tackled, I just fell on the ball. They wanted to make sure I was okay. We saw him down on the field for a long time. So we're hoping that it was nothing major because Macus already went down with the injury. Then the Steelers would have been kind of running low on depth and playmakers at the safety position, as well as inside linebacker position. But hearing that Keanu Neal is good to go and that he just fell on the ball, that's the best case scenario because that's not going to be anything significant. So that's at least something that the Steelers got on a positive sign there with Keanu Neal and him moving forward. He's playing pretty good this season so far, being a run stopper, playing on defense in pass coverage downs as well. He's been really good and just been a solid safety, stepping up for Macus and just playing his role. So it's good to see him out there make that play and still be healthy for the Steelers team. So 3 more injuries just to update you guys on. I don't know if it's significant or not because there's really no update. But in case you didn't know, Deontay Johnson, he left the game with a thumb injury and was dealing with that throughout the game, but he was able to return into the lineup a few possessions later. And then also someone else who was dealing with the injury, as reported by the reporters during the actual game, if you watched the broadcast, it said that the Steelers long snapper, Christian Kuntz, suffered an ankle injury after the Steelers punted early in the 4th quarter. He was seen testing snaps from the sideline with the punter Presley Harvin, but then he returned in the game and snapped the ball for the final 2 times without any injury or any more serious stuff happening to the ankle. So obviously throughout the week, they're gonna have to monitor that, see how he does heading into next week. But another person who got injured that it wasn't really reported on, I didn't see nothing about this, but tight end Connor Heyward, he came off the field limping late in the 4th quarter, not putting any weight on his left ankle, and he did not return to the game. So that's always something to monitor when a player does not return to the game. When they usually return to the game, you know they're probably going to be fine moving forward. But when they don't return to the game, then there's something even more that you have to monitor because you don't know how serious it actually is. But that's what Connor Heyward is dealing with, a left leg injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and hopefully he's able to return to the lineup. Obviously, Montravius Adams, he's still out with a right ankle injury. Tight end Pat Freiermuth, he's still out with a hamstring injury. And those other players that dealt with a season-ending injury, like Corey Trice and those guys are still obviously going to be out for the rest of the season. But this is just an update on all the injuries for the Pittsburgh Steelers these past few weeks, and specifically an update on Kwon Alexander, the major injury that the Steelers are now going to have to switch their focus to at the inside linebacker position and fill that void. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. But let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about this injury and how do you feel it'll affect the Steelers? Who do you think's gonna have to step up? Who are you most wanting to see step up and keep your eye on at the inside linebacker position? And is there someone else on a different team, like the practice squad, where you would want the Steelers to sign them to this main roster? Is there a free agent out there that you think could help this team at the position? And how do you feel as though the game went this past yesterday? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, make sure you don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well. If you like Steelers content and analysis reports, like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post next Steelers video. I cover everything Steelers, and if you want to stay updated with everything and get the news right away, whether that's game breakdowns, reactions, film room studies, or just this news that happens with the Steelers, everything revolving the Steelers, regular season or even the off season, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications for this channel. I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.